Jim Beilby. I'm professor of systematic and philosophical theology, if you want to make it sound really impressive. Chubb Reynolds, he was my football coach at Northwestern, and he was a great guy, to say the least. He was real, he was authentic. If you were doing it wrong, he'd kick you in the ass pretty quick. But you had no doubts that he loved you and wanted the best for you. He contracted cancer, and they gave him 6 months to live, and he stretched dying out over 2.5 years. I mean, I remember thinking a lot like, God, there's all these other jerks out here that aren't really following you, that don't really make any real impact for you in the kingdom. Why don't you take them? I remember the moment he died. I remember his funeral. I remember a moment where I'd been dating this girl, and she at the time said that, when Chubb died, you just went away. I'm sure I was depressed. I was certainly angry at God. But we broke up, and she called me just a couple months later. She said, I want to, tell you that I just rededicated my life to Christ. And I remember thinking, well, you moron, why'd you do that? For me, my low point was probably my realization, like, oh my goodness, I might be an atheist, right? And again, as I look back at this 30-ish years later, did I ever lose my faith? I was angry at God, but Jesus remained a pretty intoxicating figure for me. Jesus still was somebody who I thought was worthwhile. I'm sort of a firm believer that Christianity can't be a spectator sport. So to be a Christian 100% requires that you are engaging something actively. So it's not just your beliefs. It's not even just your heart stuff. It has to be something through your hands. And so the task that I have of helping students try to understand their faith and engage their faith is how I see God. What I know for sure is that I love my family. Everything else sort of pales in comparison next to that. What I know for sure is that when I held my firstborn child, when I held baby Sierra, that I had this overwhelming sense of responsibility and love for this new little life that I'd helped create, and that I thought that maybe this is how God feels.